Racial and religious minorities are not getting the services, and the folks of Manhattan on the Midtown, the Upper East Side where the mayor lives, they've seen their streets already clear since Monday.
Excuse me. Either the mayor does not care about what's going on in South Brooklyn, or he's completely inept to deal with it. It's only one of those two things. But we should be getting more communication so we can help him if ineptness is what the problem is. If he doesn't care, I can't help him with that. If he's inept and he needs some assistance, we'll be happy to assist him. We'll be happy to tell him where he needs to go right now. The other problem is, because they waited so long, even the trucks that come down are just getting the topsoil of what the problem is. They're not getting to the ice that is formed because no one salted the ground when this storm was started.
Put this in context. You know, in much of the city, we have 1.4 million school children, 1.1 million who go to public school, 300,000 who go to non-public school. In this community over here, most of the kids here go to yeshivas. They're not off this week. They don't have Christmas break. They don't follow the Christian calendar. We have 100,000 kids who are stuck at home this week. Their parents. Folks, I'm in a neighborhood over here where 1/3 of the community is living at less than twice the federal poverty level. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They've missed 5 days of work. Our schools run Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Some schools were able to open today, not all, and the schools that were able to open today, they don't have bus services. The kids are literally walking home, in some cases for miles, in freezing weather because of the ineptitude of this administration. Where is the heart? Where is the soul? Where is the concern of the mayor? We're simply not seeing it. It's unacceptable. We're not going to stand for it, and we're going to hold the mayor personally accountable until every last street in our respective communities is absolutely clear.
My district borders my colleagues here. I have part of Borough Park. I have mostly East Flatbush and Flatbush. We pay the same amount of taxes and the same taxes as the people who live in Manhattan, but we're not getting the same services. I was at a senior citizen's house today, disabled, couldn't leave her house because the street has not been plowed, going on 5 days. I'm happy that I'm going to be joining my colleagues to co-chair a hearing to find out exactly what happened. But somebody has to take responsibility. Somebody screwed up, and somebody needs to be held responsible and dealt with accordingly because of this.
The homebound elderly are not getting their meals. We have buildings that have not been getting heating oil. We have emergency workers that literally have to park on corners. Think about the insanity. Run down the streets with stretchers to bring people into an ambulance. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Folks, this is not Beirut. This is Brooklyn, New York. It's unacceptable that 5 days later, the streets haven't been plowed.
And that you're telling people that it has been plowed. Thank you very much. We have a lot to do, Mr. Mayor. Maybe you should do what you're supposed to be doing, because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be telling you about the complaints. We're supposed to be on the ground finding out what's happening. So don't sit up there and say we don't have much to do. I've been walking around miles, just like my colleague, every single day, trying to deal with emergencies as they come up, trying to figure out exactly needed services, try to get the services to them. We've been unable to do that because the leadership in this city has been unable to supply us with what we need.
Bottom line is that the leadership of the mayor of New York has failed us. The mayor's claim today that every street has been plowed is a snow job.
Wouldn't it make sense for the mayor to make sure that they're salting the streets after they send those trucks also? Because I noticed on Avenue L, from Coney Island Avenue to Ocean Parkway, it's deplorable. Even now, I was just there 10 minutes ago, it's deplorable.
A lot of things make sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense is this stuff on the ground. They didn't salt before. I don't see them salting now. I don't see trucks passing by now. You know, if you want to start on a line of things that make sense, we got to go through a lot of things. This whole thing doesn't make sense.
I mean, it would have made sense for them to actually send tow trucks. It would have made sense for them to actually send personnel. Right over here in Borough Park on 19th Avenue at the sanitation depot, I had a dozen trucks lying there for days with no people to drive them. And I asked them, why are they here? And they said, well, we just don't have the manpower. What do you mean you don't have the manpower? This is a state of emergency. Bring people out. Bring people out of retirement. I offered them to get volunteers, commercial drivers, people in my community who were stuck, who weren't doing any work, who called me and said, hey, I would drive a plow. They said, oh no, you have to be specially trained. We've got tens of thousands of people who are retired. Pay whatever it costs, clean up the streets. It's costing our communities. It's not costing the people in Manhattan. They're able to get to work. They're able to get their food. They're able to get their services. I had a woman who's a cancer patient who's in treatment who called me crying that she could not get to the hospital to get her treatment. Where's the humanity? We've lost the humanity. It's not about dollars and cents. It's about simple basic logic and providing basic service and about having a heart. And none of that seems to be here from Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
And the mayor tell people not to use their cars or try to suggest that they shouldn't. In Manhattan, where the transit system is the best, is now the cleanest. And the outer boroughs that can't get anywhere besides car, he did not clean. 79th Street where he lives is beautiful. 79th Street in Brooklyn is not. I'm happy Times Square is beautiful. I'm happy Manhattan is beautiful. But what are my constituents supposed to do? Come down here and tell them what they're supposed to do. The minimum thing you can do is come over here and apologize and accept that you screwed up. I think the people in our districts deserve that.
We're sick, we're tired, and our constituents are sick and tired of the lack of service in what is supposed to be the greatest city in the world. We've fallen down. I'll say it again, folks. Brooklyn has become Beirut. It's unacceptable. The mayor is personally accountable. And if he can't get sanitation to clean the streets, let him come down with a shovel. We'll sit here together with him and we'll clear the streets together.
Cory Booker did it. I think Mayor Bloomberg could do it also.
Do you feel that it's a little ironic, all the complaints of trucks that are breaking down? A lot of people, including myself, I've seen a lot of trucks on the side of Ocean Parkway, on the side of Coney Island Avenue. When I would approach the sanitation employees asking them, like, why are you just sitting there? They said, oh, my truck is broken. What are your feelings on this?
Listen, we're getting a lot of different answers. We're not getting straight answers, and that's the problem. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. For today, our top priority is making sure that our streets are clean. Many of our streets are clean. Many of them are not. Many of them, they claim have clean, but they're honestly impassable, right? And so we've got a variety of answers, anything from they haven't given us the money to they haven't been doing maintenance to, people who just seem like they're just not enthusiastic of being out there. And so we don't know the answer. And therefore, on January 10th, we're going to hold hearings. We're going to bring people in, and we're going to ask them the tough questions, and we're going to get those answers. And we encourage you to come, and folks who are frustrated, we encourage them to come and testify, tell us about their personal experiences. For this week, we want to clear the streets. Next week, we're going to demand accountability from everyone, from the mayor on down.
Thank you.